Everybody in this place wants to get in on the action.
I've been getting into golf recently and I managed to get in a few rounds between meetings. I've been getting into golf recently. And I managed to get in a few rounds between meetings.
I've been getting into trampolining recently. And I managed to get in a few rounds between meetings. I've been getting into trampolining recently and I managed to get in a few rounds between meetings.
I've been getting into trampolining recently and I managed to get in a few rounds between meetings.
I've been getting into paragliding recently and I managed to get in a few rounds between meetings.
I've been getting into paragliding recently and I managed to get in a few rounds between meetings.
I've been getting into wakeboarding recently and I managed to get in a few rounds between meetings.
I've been getting into wakeboarding recently and I managed to get in a few rounds between meetings.
I've been getting into wakeboarding recently and I managed to get in a few rounds between meetings.
I've been getting into wakeboarding recently and I managed to get in a few rounds between meetings.
I am trained in martial arts. Judo, Aikido, Karate.
I know Judo and Aikido. You like that?
That was amazing. Do you like know Aikido or something?
I've been getting into Aikido recently and I managed to get in a few rounds between meetings.
I've been getting into Aikido recently and I managed to get in a few rounds between meetings.
Is PQE.
He is PQA.
Now we put him back in our heels and we got us a lull. I want you to attack.
Got a bit of a lull right now, but as soon as that Cowboys-Redskins game is done, we are going to be plenty busy.
Can I come in on that issue?
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 Isabel. I think Neil, David and Isabel wanted to come in on this issue as well. I think Neil, David and Isabel wanted to come in on this issue as well, if I've read this right. So,
does anyone want to come in on this issue of leadership? Does anyone want to come in on this issue of leadership, particularly if you're a woman?
Did any other panellists want to come in on the issue of well-being?
Convener, thanks.
Auditor General, you want to come in on that?
Fine, just briefly, Convener, to say that last...
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm looking, does anyone else want to come in on those points?
I mean, I'm tempted to just see if other members want to come in on this, but I think I'll just...
And Michael Matheson, do you want to come in on that issue? And Michael Matheson, do you want to come in on that issue about accountability and transparency?
Emma, I wondered if Charles, who'd said that he'd wanted to come in on the issue of warrants, wanted to answer that particular question. It appears he has some views on warrants. Emma, I wondered if Charles, who'd said that he'd wanted to come in on the issue of warrants, wanted to answer that particular question. It appears he has some views on warrants. Charles, do you want to come in on that?
Yep.
Charles, do you want to come in on that?
Yep.
First Minister, I wanted to come in on that issue because I have been working very closely with the PCS.
She's a voracious reader.
I'm a voracious reader.
I mean, she was a hugely voracious reader, but what she was reading was stuff that was completely opposed to the Austen sensibility.
He has voracious appetite.
I love to read. I'm a voracious reader.
I think my voracious reading came from a deep longing for something that was missing.
Like a voracious falcon.
Those who've been sullied are merely offal to satisfy his voracious appetite.
Fanny has a voracious mind, Father, as hungry as any man's.
There are wolves in York, Sir Robert. Voracious wolves.
Many of them are eaten by voracious beasts.
Yeah.
Mr. Trask is our fearless leader. A man of learning, a voracious reader.
Too kind an end for a murderer of such voracious appetite.
Yeah, looks like they're voracious readers.
Sir, you are a voracious reader.
When your guest leaves, Matisse will eat. You'll be voracious.
Times that
cuckolded millionaire and his voracious wife didn't stand a chance.
Tom here calls you voracious.
It's voracious collector, from what I hear.
This will be an awful restaurant.
Artie got hit in the back. It blew most of his guts and intestines out his front. Awful everywhere.
I'm calling you a piece of stinking offal.
Meat.
Yes, but a prime cut, you know, not offal.
You're fucked off because you didn't get a soapbox to wax lyrical about the Shield.
There I was thinking you were about to wax lyrical about the romance of flight.
When we were in China, my father here was always waxing lyrical about his wee home in the glen.
Though I think you are wrong to ascribe those enviable thoughts to me.
Ascribe a numerical value. Face, body, personality.
You know, I wouldn't ascribe such pure motives to me.
But we in the party ascribe to Chairman Mao's definition of politics.
Do you feel that those Americans who are pro-war and who ascribe their motives to patriotism are cynical or naive?
Babies make them, and we ascribe meaning into them.
Not to work until I keel over.
I could keel over right in the middle of it.
You look like you're ready to kill over, Will.
Come on, throw him before you fucking keel over and die, old man.
Look, I've been on a hell of a binge, and if I don't get some food in me pretty soon, I'm just gonna keel over here, you know.
But the third day I saw her fall back, keel over, so to speak.
Now, you better sit down before you keel over.
Look at you. You're about to keel over. You can't.
How could you just keel over?
We were always at odds. I think the thing I'm most proud of is that you've always stayed true to yourself, even when it put us at odds.
Hard to say. His political views seem somewhat at odds with his personal issues.
But I think that's why they're always at odds.
It breaks my heart to see you two at odds like this.
Accordingly, interpretations based on the assumption that Jesus did not die on the cross appear to be at odds with modern medical knowledge.
Really at odds with yourself?
I believe it's because your life is fundamentally at odds with the natural world.
Almost at odds with morning, which is which?
I suppose that means her true feelings were at odds with the...
I'm at odds with everything.
What in the world have we been so at odds about then?
By day and night he wrongs me. Every hour he flashes into one gross crime or other that sets us all at odds on.
After all, this is an issue where no one is at odds.
I hate it that we're at odds.
For Christ's sake, I asked her for creamer, and she came at me with a butcher knife.